I won't die, won't bury, won't sink. 'Cause love is the spirit I drink. I'll be free in the morning light. 'Cause your touch is the medicine of life.
I see a theme to what it is I'm trying to do with music. I kind of feel like I must feel like I have a mission, that I'm trying to do something with music. I'm trying to say something with music. My personality is optimistic. So I think that optimism comes out. The idea that I keep coming back to the theme of raising the condition of love in society, in a person, personal love and community love in a way. I'm speaking of the revival and renewal of love, and it keeps coming up thematically. So in this period of time that we're in now, where we had much time for reflection, much time to think about what it is that we said and what it is that we had done. I like the fact that I can look back on my work and see that there's optimism there, and there's a call to the arms of love, you know. Confidence can come about with repetition, with being in front of many different types of audiences and realizing that you have an ability to move people emotionally. I guess at the point at which I really kept doing jam sessions to the point where people, they respond. You come off stage and they're like, oh, that felt so good. And sometimes having them ask you, when are you going on tour? When when is the record coming out? They push you to a career in a way. The confidence comes about from the people, and that's how it was for me. You know, after my mother passing and giving me license, like she did, saying, Gregory, don't forget your music, it's the best thing that you do. On her deathbed, making it okay for me to pursue. I didn't know that it was okay until she said it was okay, you know. I wanted her to know what would become of me. And music seemed to be so unsure in a way. But she was sure. She was like, son, go that route, you know. But the people gave me confidence, you know, early on in my career, 24, 25. Gospel music, James Cleveland. She loved Nat King Cole. Mississippi Mass Choir. She loved choirs. Mahalia Jackson, #1. A little bit of classic jazz, which would have been Ella Fitzgerald and Nat King Cole. Very first CD was Roberta Flack. The very first tape was Sam Cooke. The very first vinyl was Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald. Yeah. I think the surety of what it is that I want to say, maybe confidence in what it is I want to say. You know, after living a life and having empathy, gaining empathy, which I think is the biggest thing in life, I think. In order for me to understand somebody else's pain or joy and express it in melody and song, I think that's what makes a great performer, is empathy, the ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, to climb into the garments of the brokenhearted or the lonely or the happy or the in love. Empathy. And you had to live a little bit of life. I mean, to get deep, I mean, you don't have to have had the blues your whole life in order to sing the blues. It just helps.
Can anybody hear my song?
I think to express exactly what it is I wanted to say, I wasn't finding it in the standards. I love the standards, and they almost say everything. But there were just some things that they didn't say, not in the way that I wanted them to say. So I think writing music, it came organically. It's something that I had always done. I had always played with poetry, played with words, played with melody. And so it was something that came about naturally.
Unreroute the rivers, let the damned water beat.
Bakersfield has fed my lyrics enormously. I think in making the record, Take Me to the Alley, I felt like I was going to go back home. I was going to go to the place that my mother raised us in. That's what I did. So I moved from Brooklyn and moved back to California, my hometown, Bakersfield. Country gospel blues, which is the music I sang when I was a young person in Bakersfield, informs my music now, from Liquid Spirit to Revival to Dry Bones. That gospel sound that you hear comes directly from the southern influence of the Central Valley of California. Painted on Canvas is written from an experience in Bakersfield. There's many of the inspirations of things that I write about have happened in Bakersfield. So yeah, it's more known for country music, but Southern style gospel music definitely was strong in the 70s, 80s, and 90s in Bakersfield. That I grew up in, yes, but we always had a small church in the black neighborhood. The difficult moments of racism in which I write about, in which I sing about, sometimes overtly, sometimes covertly. Mr. Holland, this happened in Bakersfield. The inspiration of 1960 What comes from Bakersfield. Very far away from Detroit, but in a way I'm connecting all of these histories and all of these moments and all of these people to an experience of a people, of black people in America, with a song like 1960 What. That started in Bakersfield. Yep. I had a talent show my sophomore year of high school, and I beat them in the talent show, which was amazing. But yeah, they're very talented guys, and yeah, they played the bagpipes for the high school. On the wings like an eagle. When I'm singing something earthy about mama or grandma or people or Laura, I feel like maybe I'm closer to Bill Withers. But when there's a bit of a arc of asking for mutual respect, racial equality, I feel like it may be Donny Hathaway. When there's a gospel influence, I feel like it's Lou Rawls. You know, maybe all of them for different reasons, you know? You know, when I'm singing a cappella, I feel like it's Sam Cooke, you know? But I feel like all of these people that we've talked about have had some experience. Most of them are church boys. Mama, you know, their mama was a preacher or something like that. So I have a connection with them in that way. And what the connection is like at some point in your life you were singing to the glory of God. You hit a point of like musical ecstasy in that. And you try to replicate that in secular music. And so that's what Sam Cooke, Ray Charles, Bill Withers, Donny Hathaway, that's what they're doing.